anywhere, whether from foreign exchange market trade or balance of payment. 3 marks if they select 3 marks for balance of payment, then 4 marks for the foreign exchange market. And if 3 marks for foreign exchange market, then 4 marks for balance of payment. So be well prepared that we don't have to learn any 6 marks portion is not there. So we have to be very careful, and it's a very easy unit, sure short unit, totally based on definitions. So it is a scoring unit for you. So you have to work hard in that manner. First day also I told you yesterday, the 37 marks of whole of the units are such that if you study them thoroughly, 37 marks are there in your pocket. These are all very easy. 4 marks of introductory unit. The one which has Madam has taken forms of market and equilibrium price generation, 10 marks for that. It's also easy one. Then you are having money and banking, 8 marks. Then government budget, 8 marks. And lastly you have this balance of payment unit of 8 marks. So when you count the total, it is 37 marks. And these 37 marks forms the base for your good scoring. Then ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पूरा मतलब कुछ छोड़ के कुछ पढ़ेंगे. You're not going to do that. You're going to study all, but study thoroughly these units. मतलब इनमें कहीं गुंजाइश मत छोड़िए कि आपसे मार्क्स छूटे, आपसे कुछ ना हो. You should get through all the questions of all these units. And once these units are sound, then you can prepare the rest of the 3 units. So even if some questions you are not able to attend, then also your score will be down about 28 marks. Those who are scoring for high will be 11. So we are coming in that sequence. I am coming to this balance of payment. Now balance of payment, it is a term related with the external sector, or what we call it as the rest of the world. Now ours is an open economy. What is open economy? You know what is it? Open economy. What is open economy?
Freely of shares,
No, open economy means in an economy. They're dealing with the macro concept. See, open economy is a simple example that any economy having an economic relationship with any other economy, rest of the world, then that economy is an open economy. Like India. India is having a trade with America, with Britain, with all the countries, all the other countries of the world. It is we have not shut our doors to any other countries of the world. Correct? So you are having a good relationship, somewhere good, somewhere bad, like that, but you have some of the other economic relationship with every other countries of the world. And apart for our country, all the other country we club together and we give a new name that is called rest of the world. You are aware of that? So when we are having this relationship, when we are in an open economy, or when our economy is an open economy, we are having economic transactions. Now what are these transactions? Economic transactions. Economic transactions. Economic transactions means where and residents of it foreign countries. Yes. Having what you said once again say.
And between its residents and residents of
other countries. Yes, rest of the world. Means economic relationship. Economic relationship, or we can say those activities, those transactions which carry forward the transfer of value. Values transfers from one place to another, from one country to another, from the resident of our country to the residents of the rest of the world. So that interlinking between the two, we call that as a economic transaction. Now more clearly let me come to it. We are having trade with every other countries of the world. हमारा व्यापार होता है दूसरे देशों के साथ में. Yes, and that trade involves export. When you sell things to abroad, when you sell things abroad, it involves import when you purchase from abroad. Not only of goods, not only of services, then we are having capital transfers also. Money is being transferred from one country to another. Machines are being transferred from one person, one place to another, one country. All these transactions. So, whenever we are purchasing something from abroad, we are making payment. Yes, we are making payment. Means we are having a record of payments. Followed? And whenever we are selling abroad, means our country's things are being sold out. So we are receiving payments from it. Okay? That we count as, one is called, whatever you are receiving, we call it as receipts. And the second one, when we make payment, we call it as payments. The record of receipts and payments of all the economic transactions in an economy is known as balance of payment. Now, balance of payment, the word balance always means equation. What's the meaning of balance? Again, something these two same type of things are equalized. So balance of payment in this concept we mean what? We mean that whatever we are receiving or whatever are our receipts, they are exactly equal to the payments. Okay? And when this is the situation, then what means in the form of exports you will receive, you are having export of capital, you are having all, whatever you are doing, whatever money you are getting from abroad in the form of receipts, that must be exactly equal to your payments, what you are making abroad. But is it practically possible? ऐसा नहीं होता. या आप इंपोर्ट ज़्यादा करते हो, एक्सपोर्ट्स कम हो जाता है, प्लस और माइनस हमेशा चलता रहता है. लेकिन we are not talking about that right now. We are maintaining that these receipts are equal to each the payments, and the record of that is known as balance. Follow? Balance of payment. So what is balance of payment? Balance of payment is a record of all the economic transactions involving receipts and payments, or all the receipts and payments, all the records of receipts and payments of all economic transactions is known as balance of payment. Is it clear? 1 mark for definition. मैंने बोला यहाँ 1 mark का क्वेश्चन की भी संभावना है. And when there is a 1 mark possibility, be very careful with your definitions. और हमें मालूम है तो हर टॉपिक को बहुत अच्छे से डेफिनेशन वाइज आप पढ़ेंगे. So again I am repeating, balance of payment is a record of receipts and payments of all economic transactions in an economy in an account. ये yearly चलता है. जब आपने न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी पढ़ा होगा, 11th standard में था न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी. During that period, why new economic policy was introduced? There was a reason behind it. We were in the debt trap, कर्जा में फंसे हुए थे, and during that period, our balance of payment was burst. हमारे ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा नेगेटिव हो गया था. Means we were in a deficit balance of payment. Means our payments were very high and receipts were quite less. As a result, we were facing deficit BOP, and then we had to borrow from World Bank, and then we started our economy. So we have to remember that is the concept of balance of payment. Till here it is clear. Now what are these economic transactions के अंतर्गत क्या क्या आता है? So your economic transactions in BOP. First thing, it includes visible trades. Now what is this visible trade? See, what is the meaning of trade? Which we call it as exports and imports. Okay? Visible means something that you can see. Physical. And they are goods. So visible trade includes what? With export and import of goods. Export and import of goods. And these goods, these things can be seen crossing borders. Okay? So the first economic transaction in your BOP is of visible trade, which includes the export and import of goods. Includes the export and import of goods. Okay? Second is your invisible. Invisible trade. Invisible means export and import of services. Services cannot be seen. Means services are not material goods that they can be carried from one place to other, but you can only feel them. So we are providing the services, services of shipping, insurance, banking, all these are there. और इनका भी export import होता है, and we receive money and we pay also money. And that's why these are included in what? In the economic transaction of BOP. So second one is invisible trade, and these are not seen crossing the borders. जैसे visible goods तो दिखती हैं, अब सेवाएं आज तो हम इतना आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, इतना एडवांस लेवल पर वी आर देयर दैट थ्रू इंटरनेट वी कैन बाय एंड सेल एनीथिंग अब्रॉड. Okay, even services also. You are sitting here, you are a very expert in English, you can give lectures, you can give lessons to the person sitting in America. That can be done. Okay, so these are the movement of services. So that type of trade involves the export and import of services. There is another name. First we call it as tangible trade. Tangible, that can be seen. Intangible means which cannot be seen, only felt by ऐसा हुआ. ठीक है? And your third transaction is of capital transfer. Third one is capital transfer. This relates to the capital receipts and capital payment. In the form of money, when you are investing, then you are receiving. When you are investing abroad, then you are paying. Or supposing you buy a machine from outside, it is a capital transfer. You have to make payment. Or if any machine is bought from your country, you are sending it abroad, so you are getting a payment. So this involves this. These are the three transactions which we are going to stress when we are talking about the economic transactions in DOP or balance of payment. Is it clear till here? So we have defined balance of payment, and we have stressed on the payment and receipts of economic transactions. So what are economic transactions? That we have talked. Visible trade, invisible trade, and capital transfer. Clear? I think everything is clear. Now there is another term which is known as balance of trade. Now what is this concept of balance of trade? Balance of trade is a slight difference between balance of payment and balance of trade. Trade involves only and only the export and import of goods, only visible items. So when there is a balance between what? Exports of goods and imports of goods, means whatever payment you are receiving in the form of exports of only goods, no services, no capital transfer, and whatever payment you are making when you are purchasing goods from abroad, the balance of the two gives us the concept of balance of trade. So where balance of trade is, it can be also written in the form of formula. It is the export of visible trade minus import of, and visible trade will include only and only goods. Clear? So that is the difference. Then this is a balance of payment is a broader concept, and balance of trade is a narrow concept, in the sense that balance of payment includes balance of trade. Why? Balance of payment includes all three. It includes visible trade also. आ रही बात समझ में आपको? Balance of payment includes balance of trade also, and here we are having only balance of trade. Means balance of trade is a lone concept, but balance of payment includes balance of trade also, and that's why the balance of payment, the concept of balance of payment is a broader concept. So difference, again there is often asked a 3 marks question, what is the difference between balance of trade and balance of trade? ठीक है, past experience पिछले 5-6-8 साल के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स आप देखोगे, तो this question is also common है, what is the difference between balance of trade and balance of trade? Okay, now we come to the components of balance of trade. That is there. There are, I have already given it. The components of balance of payment is divided into two. The first one is current account, and other one is capital account of balance of payment. Now current account. What is the meaning of current accounts?
It records important expenses of goods.
Current account, when you are dealing with the means current year transaction, the current year. So current word in a way it comes in our economics. Current means whatever is prevailing, whichever the year is prevailing, that we call as current. The some थोड़ा सा मिलता जुलता है हम current के बारे में बात करते हैं. If the current account is that account which records again three things. First thing is that export and import of goods, export and import of services, and unilateral transfers from one country Now export and import of goods means that account of BOP which deals with only these three transactions. Which three transactions? First one, export and import of goods. Followed, export with what will happen? Export will fetch you what? Foreign exchange. आप export करोगे, when you will export certain goods, you will earn foreign exchange. And when you are importing goods, you will pay. Means one adds to the flow of foreign exchange and one reduces the flow of foreign exchange. Import में हमेशा पेमेंट करना पड़ता है, तो आपका foreign exchange दूसरे कंट्री में चला जाता है. लेकिन एक्सपोर्ट में उल्टा होता है, बाहर से foreign exchange हमारे पास. समझ में आ रहा है? तो first thing we are including the export and import of goods. Secondly, we are including the export and import of services, and thirdly, unilateral transfers. Now, what we are doing? All exports are all taken. Means export of goods, export of services. They are kept as a positive items in the BOP. You getting it? They are kept as positive items in the BOP, and imports are treated as the negative items in the, because they are reducing your foreign exchange. And the why the exports are why they are as a positive item? Because they are adding to the flow of foreign exchange in the country. Is it clear? Now third one is unilateral transfer. What is this? What do you mean of unilateral? You have heard the word bilateral? Yes. No, transfer payment are unilateral payment. But why they are unilateral? What's the meaning of that unilateral? The word unilateral.
Unilateral transfer payment does not
generate income.
No.
Nothing
is no productive services are provided in return to that. We call it means it is one sided.
Household funds.
We are coming to this. One sided means the payment is made one sided. Just say whatever we are having, whatever exchange we are having, I'll provide a service to you, you will pay me. Now this is bilateral. This is bilateral. But when money is given to you, but in return you are not doing anything, like scholarships. You get money, you get a scholarship, but are you providing any services in return to that? No. Such payments we call it as transfer payment. Same concept here. Certain times, certain countries are helping you, they are giving you gifts, they are giving you aids, they are giving you donations. Yes, same way we are also giving to the other countries also. So these type of transactions, they come under unilateral transfers. And that these three things comes under the current account of balance of payment. Followed? What are those three? Export and import of goods, and export and import of services, and unilateral transfers. And these should be in balance. These should be in balance. Means whatever you are exporting for goods, that should be equal to import of goods. Whatever you are exporting, whatever you are receiving in the form receipts in the form of what? For the export of services, same thing. It should be equal. Means when they are in balance, first of all we call that balance of visible trade. When these two are in balance, means receipts and payments of export and import of goods, they are equal to each other. We call it balance of visible trade. Then secondly, will be balance of invisible trade. And thirdly, will be unilateral transfer. And all three together, they are known as current account of. Have you followed? These three together. This is not now, as I told you, the exports of goods, exports of services, and the receipts of unilateral transfer, they all are kept as a positive item, and imports of goods, imports of services, and the payment for the unilateral transfer, they are kept in the negative. And actually, these should balance with each other. The aim is that they should balance, but it hardly happens in the economy that every time we are having a balance payment. Balance of payment एकदम balance में रहे कि जितना आपने receive किया है उतना ही आप payment कर रहे हो, ऐसा होता नहीं है. But ये concept हम लेकर चलते हैं कि they are treated to be, means every economy is trying to achieve that situation, and that's why we call that is called equilibrium balance of payment. Okay. Now the second component is your current capital account. Want to say something? Capital account. The capital account will include the transfer of what? All the assets. Capital assets. Fixed assets in that way. So capital account, again it has three forms. It includes these three types of transactions. Number one is your foreign investment in two forms. First one is FDI. Foreign direct investment. Okay? Foreign direct investment. What's the meaning of foreign direct investment? Anybody from foreign country can directly invest. Invest means he can purchase an asset in our own country and can have a full control over that asset. Supposingly we have a big, like Tata Enterprise is there, big company. Now if Tata purchases any company abroad, whole of the company, such that Tata becomes the owner of that company, then this is foreign direct investment. Okay, and next one is portfolio investment, in which only the shares of certain companies, certain firms you increase. You are not getting the full control over that company. You are only becoming a part of that company. So that type of investment is known as portfolio investment. Are you clear with it? Follow. So this is another very important question: capital and current account.